Got a text from Freddie in Leamington, says, morning, gents. Just get the referees in the centre circle at the end of the game and make all the players and fans applaud them for 10 minutes so they get their minute of fame and are made to feel important. Then we can scrap VAR. Thank you, Freddie, you cynic. Fish says, Semenyo is a prime example of why I can't get excited watching Man City. At Bournemouth, he would run at players. Yesterday, he stopped the ball and passed it back. Typical of what Pep does. Pointless 5 yards, sideways, backwards passes. Pep did the same with Grealish. Let's take a call from a City fan, shall we? Kyle is that City fan. Morning, Kyle.
Very good morning, Kyle.
Morning, boys. How are we? You all right?
Yeah,
Brilliant,
we're
mate.
good, thanks, mate. What about you?
Yeah, good to speak to you. So I've been trying to get on for a while now, since Arsenal have been playing the Invincible music in December. I just wanted to say, firstly, Nico O'Reilly is an absolute wonder kid.
Yeah.
He's played left back, centre DM, he's in centre attacking mid, and he's absolutely bossing it at one of the best teams in the world. He's got to go to the World Cup, yeah?
Agreed.
Secondly, I wanted to say, Pep, I think if we win this title this year, I think he'll stay another 5, 6, maybe 10 years. I really do. And lastly, I wanted to say, obviously Tuchel's got the best team, we could pick 22 teams and still win the World Cup. If he doesn't win it this year, what do you boys reckon about if Pep stayed, he could do the England team as well? He'd win it all, mate. He'd win it all.
Kyle, I think he's got enough on his plate. And I'll tell you what, when they went 1-0 down to Liverpool there, he didn't look like he was enjoying it for 1 minute, did he? You know, it was fine in the end.
It looked as though it was 10 minutes. It wasn't lasting never 10 years.
Yeah,
Kyle.
absolutely. No, I think he'll be done long before then.
Yeah.
But look, you can't argue with what he's achieved at Manchester City. Fantastic. And please don't text about 115 charges. I'm aware, okay? Right, Olivia is back with us.
Hi, I am back. Not to talk about Cole Palmer's hat-trick, sadly.
The 2 penalties, you mean?
They all count, Jeff. They all count.
They do, but...
They all count. No, I'm here to talk about, you mentioned it just before the break, Mauricio Pochettino. And could he be potentially on his way back to Spurs in the summer, maybe? Well...
Why? Why would he do that?
Well, I mean, he's been sort of flirting. Well, I don't know, flirting with the idea. Basically, he was speaking on the High Performance podcast very recently, talking about Spurs, saying winning the Europa League is good, but it's not good enough for a club like Spurs. The facilities are in place now. They have to be competing for the Premier League and the Champions League, but the know-how to do that isn't quite there. And he actually spoke to the talkSPORT Daily podcast back in November, and this is what he had to say.
My challenge in the future, of course, after the World Cup and being now focusing in the national team, USA national team, is maybe to come back one day to the Premier League. We were so close with Tottenham to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and I think the fans. I think not the fans, but I think in that case we wanted to win the Premier League and the Champions League because in that case Tottenham is a club that deserves this type of titles, this type of trophies.
Now, Mauricio Pochettino speaking there, saying, they did come the closest.
In November.
Yes, they did come the closest to winning the Premier League and arguably, got to the Champions League final under Mauricio Pochettino. You said, why would he come back there? From what we've heard of him speaking there back in November and from what he said on the High Performance podcast, why could you not see that happening, Jeff?
Well, because Spurs are a mental case of a football club. Pochettino, I am a big admirer. I'm a massive fan of Pochettino. Look, if Manchester United decide Michael Carrick's not the right man and they went to Pochettino, yeah, I can see him coming back there. If Chelsea decide that Liam Rosenior is not the right man, I could see him coming back there. Tottenham, why would he go back to Tottenham who sacked him once? I just don't get it at all.
Ali, do you think this could be a possibility? Because I think he, by the sounds of it, I think he maybe quite likes the idea of coming back to Spurs.
Well,
no, he said he wanted to come back to the Premier League. Didn't say I want to come back to Spurs.
I think he would, though. I think he would go back to Spurs. Ali?
I just can't get my head round him having the desire to go round and back to, I quote, a mental case of a football club. That's the line that's killed me this morning, Jeff. No, I'll tell you where I'm with it, right? It would interest him, Jeff, and I'll tell you why. Because of his affiliation with the club and he loves the club. I get it. Totally what you're saying. You would think if you took a sensible look at it, right, and stood back and said, why on earth would I want to do that if he's got other opportunities and other options? I get it. But never underestimate people's ties with clubs as well.
That's why I'm hearing rumours, Coisty, that he's going back to Southampton.
Is that slightly less of a mental case of a football club?
Well, no, that's pretty arguable, to be honest.
Exactly, that's my point.
But I mean, look, we're talking about this. Tottenham, and I've said I don't think they will be. Tottenham could be a Championship club next season. Is he going back then? He's talking about going back to the Premier League.
I think realistically, and I know, literally, there's only 6 points between West Ham in 18th and Spurs Spurs' next few games aren't very difficult, by the way. They've got Newcastle at home next, then they've got the North London derby. They've got a really tough run of games, so I know, obviously, the chances of them going down are probably quite slim when you think of the other teams there. And it's not out of this world impossible that they do. With the job that, obviously, Poch did at Spurs, that is the best Spurs team I think we've all seen. And like I say, the closest. They're coming at a 55.9% win percentage. Conte and Sherwood are the only two that are above him, but they obviously managed significantly less games. Ali, where Spurs are at right now, 15th in the Premier League, under Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything, should we be looking into the timing of this podcast and it coming out now? Do you think there's anything in that?
Listen, he's got enough concerns at this moment in time with the USA for the World Cup, right? 'Cause I actually think, and I might be wrong, because you always got a lift, there's no doubt about it, the host nation's always got a lift, whether it's Canada, Mexico or the USA. Yeah. I don't think the host nations will do well from what I've seen at the World Cup. I really do. I'd have a little bit of a concern. So whether he's getting himself ready for his next job with his comments, what he's doing is he's just keeping all his options open. That's what any sensible coach, any manager would do. Does he see himself going back there in the immediate future? Maybe not. But what he's saying is, I might not be here at this particular job after World Cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my options open. Yeah. And he's doing that, and he's already, and Jeff's correct to say, he's not specifically said Tottenham. He's mentioned he wants to come back and manage in the best league in the world.
Look, he was asked a question about Tottenham, I'm assuming, and obviously he's quite flattering about them. He would have been flattering about Chelsea if he'd been asked a question about Chelsea. He would have been flattering about Southampton if he'd been asked a question about Southampton, I would say. Mike, the Spurs fan, says we should never have got rid of Poch. I'd happily take 17th this season and bring Poch back in the summer for next season. He would get us playing decent football. Mike, I completely agree with you. Yeah. It would be great for Tottenham, but I'm not sure it would be great for Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing. I think this season the Spurs fans are not on side with whatever decisions have been made. That would definitely be a decision that does get the Spurs fans back on side 100%. But like Jeff mentioned there, Ali, do you think if the Manchester United job became available in the summer and the Spurs job became available in the summer, where do you think Mauricio Pochettino would go, and where do you think would be the best option for him to go out of those two?
Well, obviously Manchester United at this moment in time, but that could change. That could all change in 3 or 4 weeks as well.
But do you think, where would he go if he had the choice? Do you think he would go to United over Spurs?
Craig, you're asking me a question. I've got no idea. I don't know what's going on inside his head. The attachment to Spurs is obviously there, but you've got an opportunity to go to Manchester United. I don't know the answer to that question.
It's a tricky one, Costi, isn't it? Champions League football with Manchester United, or a relegation battle, and maybe the Championship with Spurs. It will take a lot of mulling over that.
The fact of the matter is, Michael Carrick's getting that job, right? Because if he keeps going the way he's going, it's impossible not to give him the job. And I'll tell you why. Because if he keeps going the way he's going and they don't give him the job and the next guy comes in and doesn't do well, they're going to get absolutely crucified. So Michael Carrick is doing, at this moment in time, a quite brilliant job. His team, the whole place, he's transformed the whole place at this moment in time. And if he continues the way he's going, I think he's going to get the job.
Olivia,
so he should.
James doesn't show your confidence, share your confidence over Tottenham. He says, James says, he's Spurs season ticket holder. If Spurs lose to Newcastle tomorrow and West Ham gets something against United, we are bang in trouble.
I know, listen, I was just trying to be positive, trying to be a little bit positive for Spurs fans, because everyone knows I'm a Chelsea fan, so I was just trying to be not too harsh on them, saying they're going to go down. I thought they might, they might get out of it. Sorry, James.
By the way, I don't, Coisty and you, Olivia, Jill's just texted you. She said, can we talk about the Team GB ice dance to the Spice Girls? It was epic. Did you see it?
No, I didn't actually.
It was epic. It was absolutely
What Spice Girls song was it?
It was a medley.
Oh, was it?
A medley of
even
Spice
better.
Girls songs. And the woman, who's, forgive me, I don't know her name, was dressed in a Spice Girls dress as well.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
It was sensational.
Jill, I need to have a look at that.
Yeah, forget the goal that was ruled out of the weekend. That was the sporting moment of the weekend.
Can always lie. Good old Jill to bring us back down to earth with a bit of Spice Girls. Good on you, Jill.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you so much.
Coming up next, we'll cross to San Francisco and look back at the Super Bowl.